Hey, good morning from Zion today. I was supposed to go home. It was kind of cool. Um, I was packing up my bag and kind of like, ugh, not ready to go back home. Like, no, I'm good. And I feel really fortunate because I got an email from hotels.com that said I had a free night. And it was the whole like, click yes to accept your offer. And it was like, yes, unpack the car, go back to hotel room. So it worked out really well. But I think there was a reason because I wasn't ready to go, but I was ready to stay in my space here in the desert and just reconnect again, like I did the other day when I did the oracle reading. And today I just kind of feel I was triggered yesterday by someone that said they were too afraid to do something that they were really excited about. And I don't understand. I guess I can relate, but I don't understand why we're all living in so much fear and why we're all just so withdrawn and disconnected lately. I would love for there to be a day when people just one by one individually see the light that they have within themselves. And I was thinking about it this morning while meditating, and I was just like, it's light. Why aren't we seeing it? Light is usually pretty easy to see, right? It's light. But when it's within us, we don't see it. And if we do, maybe it's just flickering. Maybe it's not as bright as it actually is when we see it. And that light is what guides us. That light is what gives us power to move forward. It's what drives us, you know? And I know I don't see my light. You know, it's a process of seeing your potential. It's a process of seeing just how amazing you would be if you really didn't have any walls of fear around you, right? Like anything you want is on the other side of fear. And it's a fact. Anything you want, it's on the other side of fear. And fear is a thought. It usually isn't even something that's happened. It's not an object. It's not, you know, like we feel like a freight train's coming. It actually isn't a freight train. It's just how it feels. Or the suffocation when we're under pressure or under stress, or life seems to be tightening its grip on us, when actually the reality is we're tightening ourselves on life. We're squeezing life with our hands because we don't want to let go. We don't want to release. We're afraid. We're living in fear. So we hold on to anything we can as tight as we can. And then what that does is it stops the flow of energy. It's kind of like a hose when water's running through it, and you squeeze it real tight or you kink it, and the water stops flowing. It's just, we do that to our lives. We kink it, and then the energy stops flowing, and then we can't figure out why. Well, maybe why we are where we are, or why things aren't coming to us. Well, they can't flow. We're squeezing too tight. Just let go. Spend time with yourself in the morning every day, and spend time with yourself at night every night. And you'll see your light. You'll see it shine. It's really bright, and it's full of all sorts of wisdom that's waiting for you. You know, we get on social media every single day. We look at these memes, these GIFs. You know, some are funny, some inspire us, some move us. But then the minute we scroll to the next meme, that energy attached to whatever inspired us or whatever made us go, oh my God, that's so funny, or oh, that's so amazing, I love this. And we click the heart and go, oh, I love it. So, and there's people on social media that have themselves as public figures, or, you know, they have 5,000 likes and they feel like they've accomplished something with that. But really, how much have you accomplished? Social media is just an illusion. And it really is. If there wasn't social media, if it was gone tomorrow, where would you be? What would those 5,000 likes mean to you then? What would that public figure title that you gave yourself when you set up your Facebook or your Instagram, what would that mean if social media was taken away? Would you still be a public figure? You know what I mean? Would you still have 5,000, 50,000 people that liked you? And how important would it be to not have that to look at every day? What would you do if you had to take away social media and you had to look at yourself? Would you see yourself the way others see you, or would you see yourself as something different? You know what I mean? And we all just have this beautiful light within us. It's the divine. It's our prana. It's our life force. It's in us. And we don't see it. And it's like, and when we do see it, we don't want to believe it because we want to have validation, right? Like, there's people out there, they're amazing people. They've come up with some fantastic ideas, fantastic concepts and theories, you know. And through that, we've learned from them, you know, and then we have our own theories and our own wisdoms that we're still figuring out or learning and growing from. And it's just a beautiful process to see. And I really just want everyone to just stop and listen. Silence is okay. And being alone is okay. You're not alone. You're with yourself and you're with your space. And that time alone is so necessary for growth. It's a beautiful process when you really look at yourself and you really see what you've become or where you've come from. And so often we tell ourselves, you know, we haven't done enough, we haven't become enough, we don't make enough money, we don't have a big enough house, we don't have enough friends, or, you know, maybe our family's toxic and we feel like we have to serve and constantly be at other people's beck and call. And that just drains energy and that takes away your spark. You are a being of light. You're a being of light. You have everything you could ever want already inside you. You just have to see it. And the only way to see it is to be alone with yourself and have that self-respect, that self-love, that self-awareness, to know that it's there and know that it belongs to you and take ownership of it and embrace it and give it the energy, give it the attention that it needs to grow. That's all it takes. So easy, right? That's it. That's all you have to do. Like, really? But just get off social media. Stop hiding from yourself. Stop hiding up behind memes and GIFs and Instagram posts that say one thing but mean another. Stop making excuses. Stop trying to help solve other people's problems to avoid solving your own. You know what I mean? We all have friends and family that need us, and we're there for them, you know, as much as we can be. But we also have to make sure we're there for ourselves. We also, you know, everybody's looking for love. They're looking for that relationship. There's so many people out there that are, you know, they're looking for that one. And you can't love somebody. You can't be fully embraced until you can fully embrace yourself. And then when you love yourself first and you find that love within yourself, then you can share it with somebody else, because then you have something to share. You have awareness. You know what you're sharing. You know what your boundaries are. You know how much you have to give. You know who you are. You know what that person's loving, and you know what that person's going to love about you. And then you can share those things with you, the good and the bad. You don't have to just be all good. Share the good and the bad. And when that person loves you for all of it, that's balance. And that's a good person, because they can appreciate your bad. They can appreciate your good. And you can love them fully because you loved yourself first. And it doesn't have to be ego. You don't have to, you know, take 100 selfies and, you know, tell yourself how awesome you are every day. Just be humble and be in the presence of your space, and be humble with who you are. Be happy with your flaws. They're your growths, and be happy with your strengths, because that's what balances you out. You can't have all of one thing and none of the other. You have to have both. You have to have strengths. You have to have weaknesses, good and bad. You know, ugly, pretty, you know, everything, the physical, the spiritual, the emotional, it all comes into a mix of who you are. It's what your light is. It's what shines when you allow it. So I'm kind of just sitting in the middle of the desert. And I didn't think about myself today. I thought about everybody else. 2020, COVID, fires in Australia, the elections, all the garbage. Just don't worry about it. It doesn't serve you. Find what serves you. Find your light and go with it. You don't need to follow the garbage on media. You don't need to find the who's and the what's and the whys. Just live in your space and your time, and just stop. Slow down. Be okay with silence. Be okay with just you and not having to have any type of, you know, status or whatever you want to call it. Just be in your space, be silent, be calm. And most importantly, be thankful. Even if this has been the most horrible year you've ever had, and you've had, you know, maybe you've experienced loss, maybe you've lost somebody to COVID, maybe you lost somebody, you know, to something else this year. 2020 has been a rough year. I know for myself too. I've had a lot of loss and I've had a lot of gain. You know, everything comes in balance. Maybe you're still losing. You feel like you haven't gained anything yet. And that's okay. It's coming. But you have to open up and make the space for that. And the only way to do that is to be okay with letting go and be thankful. And gratitude, even when things seem bad, being thankful for that is so powerful. Maybe you lost your job, and you find a reason to be thankful for that. Thank you, universe. I now have time. I may not have money, but I have time. And in that time, I can use it to find ways to make money. I can find a better job. I can stay home and catch up with family. There's so many different things. Or maybe you've lost a loved one, and that's okay, because they're going to be with you in spirit. Maybe you lost your home, and that's okay too. I know I was close to losing my home this year. Little issue that my friends loved and supported me through, and it worked out great. I have my home still, and everything's great. But it's those challenges that we face and those things that get taken away, that's what humbles us. That's the good stuff. If we can embrace it and be okay with it, and realize that it's a process, and understand that it's just the universe's way of forcing us into a place to appreciate what we have and what we don't, and appreciate the life experiences that come to us, because they're processes, they're steps to learning, they're steps to greater things. And the only way to take those steps is through courage and looking within and shining your light. Your light is what shines on your path. If you find your light and you let it come out, you won't have to worry anymore. You won't have to experience the confusion or the not knowing where you're going on your path, because you're going to illuminate it with the light from yourself, right? So find your light, find your spark, trust yourself, love yourself. Self-love is such a huge thing right now that's just missing. Like the true deep self-love, that humility of just thinking and seeing what you are, and realizing just that we're all badasses. We all have the ability to just be freaking awesome and shine in our life, whether it's something very minimal or, making a bunch of money and being this huge successful, whatever. It's our light, and it's what we make it. We choose how bright we want it to be. We choose what we're going to shine it on, and we choose if we're even going to shine. So I'm sitting in the desert today, and I'm just kind of talking out loud, I guess. I don't have anything scripted or ready, but I was just sitting here, and it's kind of corny because I had the tears, like, oh my God, it's so beautiful out here today. And then I was like, this is so cool. Just to be out in the open with nothing but the desert and scenery. And I just encourage you, even if you don't have the scenery, just be in an empty space with yourself and listen to what comes through. It's amazing when you really just find contentment within, and you look inside and you find your light. The things you see and the messages that come to you and the self-love that fills you, just embrace it. Just spend time with yourself. Disconnect from social media. Disconnect from the craziness in life. Stop rushing. If you're rushing, something's missing that you need to take away, because you shouldn't be rushed. There are days where we're rushed. There's days where we're busy. There's days where we're overwhelmed. That's normal. That's life. But that's not a lifestyle. That's not how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to live in balance and gratitude with humility and self-love. And the only way to find that is to look within. So anyway, thanks for listening. And wherever you are, if you're watching this, I hope it's finding you well. And I hope, I hope you're working towards living your best life, because your best life is what you deserve. Your best life is it's your purpose. It's why you're here. But you can't find it in a meme or a GIF. They are funny. There's some good ones out there on social media right now. But your best life is something you have to figure out. And the only way to figure that out is to stay humble and spend time with yourself and discover your self-love and discover your self-worth. And then take that knowledge and that humility, that love, that worth, and apply it to what makes you happy, and be creative and be open and be accepting to possibilities and be accepting to challenges. When challenges come to you, be like, bring it. Game on, let's go. I love it. We're doing it. And then take that challenge, learn from it, and then step up from it. Rise up. Rise up. This is our time to rise up and be in our space. Things are being taken away, things are moving, things are shifting. Rise up in your space with self-love, humility, gratitude. Find what moves you. Find your light, shine it. All right, more scenery. All right, you guys. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you being here. I'm heading home tomorrow, so I'm going to be on the road for a couple days, but feel free to visit my website and check out my blog, defineyourglow.org. Check out my Facebook, Define Your Glow. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care, be safe, and be well. Thanks for watching.